The point I make was that we cannot address the problem of obesity in the adults. My thesis is that it would do very well to start with the children, to address the problem of the child health very early on in life. I made the point that the first 1,000 days represent a very important part of the child's life. So we should pay much more attention, a lot of attention, to our maternal and child health services as a long-term approach to obesity. I also mentioned the role of the media in transmitting messages that sometimes induce our populations to eat more of what we would call the obesogenic foods.
I have a vision of the Caribbean being a genuine global pioneer in addressing the problem that underlies many of the chronic diseases, the problem of obesity, which is visibly at epidemic proportions in the Caribbean. Men and women, our children, are getting fatter. And in the face of all the information and pious exhortations and nostrum, the fat piles on. If I may say, men, the rate of increase in obesity in men is faster than it is in women. They eat more and exercise less. But there's a growing school of thought based on research, some of it done here by Terence Forrester in the University of the West Indies, that the propensity for obesity and the consequent NCDs is determined in large part in the first 1,000 days of life. The infant is influenced in the womb and the rest of its first 2 years of life by environmental factors which alter in some way the expression of its genes. And one of the proponents of that thesis said to me that 46% of your chance of becoming obese or dying from a heart attack earlier than you should is determined when you are born. The Caribbean has an enviable history of achievement in maternal and child health, as its indicators show. And I ask the question whether the Caribbean can assume the challenge of demonstrating to the world by good maternal and child health practice that the epidemic of obesity, beginning with childhood obesity, can be halted and reversed.